So I think it's important to note that approaching poem number 20 this month, it is the start of the bulk of my poems. Now, obviously, as I come to write more, my poems, these style of poems will not make up the bulk of my writing, but as of now, out of like 139 poems, there is a significant amount that are about a certain person that was in my life. And so I'll probably give a fair warning at the beginning of each of these videos that they are about relationships and grief and trying to let go and dealing with a lot of anguish and just trying to move on. And this was all me working through this. And so these poems are kind of the reason that I started this channel, was to share these for anybody who can relate, for anybody who's working through the same thing. And so it'll be kind of a journey if you want to stick along with it. That I think if you're struggling with getting over somebody, or even just struggling getting over anything that is emotionally difficult, I want to do my best to give any advice I can, because I feel like I've gone through something significant and I want to share that experience with other people to do my best to help them. Apologies for other sounds you hear while I'm recording. I do have roommates. This one is called Is It Inevitable? And this is when I came back from spring break, I believe, after my conference meeting. I fear it has started. What, you may ask? A heart departed. It swept in fast. The distance was nothing, now proximity is crushing. How could I have not seen the signs that were coming? My attention is untrained, my environment doesn't ask of it. Now that I'm home, it's split quite a bit. She tells me now she feels low priority. I struggle with how, when so many want to see me. I hope this is not the beginning of the end, but I fear that her flame burns less and less hot. Oh, I see. I hope this is not the beginning of the end, but I fear that her flame burns less and less hot. So, obviously I haven't read that one in a while, but just because I got the timing a little bit off at the end there, and I apologize, this is already a really long video, but this one is basically when I came back from break, I didn't have a car, and so I was living with my family, and I wasn't able to see her immediately when I got off the plane because I didn't have any way to, and I felt bad about that. But then she told me that it felt like I wasn't trying, and I just felt at a loss, because there wasn't much I could do, because she was an hour away that first entire weekend that I was back for spring break, and I just couldn't do anything. So this poem was a little bit of me feeling helpless, in a sense of I wasn't really sure why she was getting upset at me when there wasn't much I could do. But you might think that this seems a little dramatic, like, is it inevitable, has it started, when all it was is her getting upset that I couldn't see her over the weekend. But there was a little more to it than that. When I finally did see her, she seemed to kind of ignore me, and I don't know, it just didn't make a lot of sense, because once I finally did get to see her, it seemed like I was never the priority ever, or at least not while I was there. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but there's not much lesson to offer in this one. It was just me writing about how I was scared for what was about to happen, and I kind of had a foreshadowing feeling that something, grave was about to start. And so like I said, this is the start of a couple of poems. Well, not just a couple, but a lot of poems that talk on pretty intense grief. And so, if you're here for it, I'm more than glad to have you. If you like this one, I'd love it if you'd stick around, and hope to see you next time. Thanks.